Hello, hello. My apologies. Um, the Wi-Fi just suddenly went out on me, so yeah. Even when I want to relax, there's always something happening. In other news, I learned this. Hold on, I feel a bit parched. Hold on, real quick. Alright, there we go. Anywho. Oh. Anywho. Oh, that crack. See, there's always something happening, even when I want to relax. Anywho, like I said, in other words, I learned this. What the fuck is this? Oh yeah, Tartagga's birthday. We forgot. Anywho, I got achievements. Oh, okay. Okay, I guess they want resources. Yep. Oh, fuck you, fucking phone. Fuck off. I don't know. I don't know. Also, fuck you for falling on my fucking keyboard. Fuck you for that. Me, think. Oh, just. I was just about to try this out. Single player only. No. Wanna go boss nuking? I need to reset my model real quick. Oh sh.
悪くない芽が出たわ。今日も引き続きサボりましょう。調子が良くなってから仕事を一気に終わらせるわよ。じゃじゃーん。
Alright, I don't know, let's try this one out. Okay.
ちゃいない。捕まえた。終わりです。知識をあなたに。よっほっ、痛がっちゃいない。急がなくてもいいのよ。
Ooh. Anywho. Anywho, I don't know what to do.
情報提供者から知らせがあったわ。うん。どうやらまた新たな変数が現れたようね。
Yeah. Oh.
最高生。
There's anything nowadays. Kaza. Asha. Oh no. Part is lower than recommended. Who could have known?
かけっこしましょう。
凡人、身の程をわきまえよ。
不意くの語り。よっ、管理します。
千年もの雪辱を果たす。
結局成し遂げられなかった。
Asha, somehow the hardest boss still.
こ
の地が貴様らの墓場となる。千年の怒りをしかとその身に受けるがよい。
料理の時間。話が通じないなら待て。熱々でしょ。渚のリーチ。邪魔をするな。料理の時間。
大地の粉は静まらぬ。
やっやっもう一度。
流砂は山岳を
渚のリー
示す。
やっ
土に帰れ。
熱々でしょ。しっかり立ってな。
酒よ。
食材が襲ってくる
小賢しいことを。
の。渚のリーフ。話が通じないならはい、出発よ。
我は消えぬ。
Let's see what's doing. Child abuse time. Child abuse. Child abuse time. Fuck it. Right in. Right in and. Child abuse time. Ethernet went out. I'll probably be streaming for about 2 hours. Guess I just want to rest for the rest of the night. Child abuse time. Child abuse time.
せっかくのチャンスだ。本気を出して俺を楽しませてくれ。投稿も一つの選択だよ。俺は敗者に優しいからね。褒めてあげよう。
知識はあなたに裁きの怒り。カリソリが踏まえ僕のそのもとに
運が尽きたんだ。
手をつなぎましょう。逃げ道はありません。ここより弱滅の時。よし。
Woo! Wee woo wee woo. Oh, I know what we can do. Oh, where is it? Mm-hmm.
.この世を渡り歩くにはより多くの身分を持った方が便利なの。君にもいくつか作ってあげようか。
TP. TP. Teleport. E. Pardon. Where is she at? Oh. Uh.
.悪くない芽が出たわ。今日も引き続きサボりましょう。調子が良くなってから仕事を一気に終わらせるわよ。どこから来た
虫けらが神を見ようとはね。
これこそが知恵の源。
覆滅。
世界の熱狂の渦に見切りました。稲光、すなわち永遠なり。
渦潮よ、逆まけ。弱小万物。奮起。鎮圧。来客。諸相浄化。
裁きの雷。
奮起。重悪昇格。
無我の境地。よし、見切りました。手をつなぎましょう。
はず。
ここより弱滅の時。よし、そこ。逃げ道はありません。知識はあなたにも。
また失うのだ。
Ooh. I'm obsessed with chicken. Hey, burrito. I'm obsessed with chicken. Hey yo, what's up? How are you? Chi. Hey Chio, how are you? Cube rush. Cube rush. Alrighty, alright. Cube rush, cube rush.
Yo. 急がなくてもいいのよ。よっ。
Ooh, the whale. Ready? Doing cube rush. Now time for Animal Cube. Already set up. Ready for Archons, except for Farina, since she's apparently a fake Archon. Alright, and now Pyro Cube. Let's fucking go. I mean, sure. We could do the whale then Scara. Alright, Fontaine. I believe it's... Where is it? Not that one. Not that one either. Where is it? I haven't done the whale boss in a long time. Hold on.
浮世の風景は幾千年も変わらないというのに、人の世とはこうも白露と泡のように儚い。
Where the fuck is everyone at? Oh. Alright. Probably gonna need some sort of healer. This. And probably gonna use Jingling. Alright. Yep. Okay. Double power, double electro. Alright. 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 Oh, he's going with the backpack. Hold on, I need to. Oh. And exit the domain. Domain. Alright. Oh yeah. Now that people are in the chat, I can show you what I learned. This. Alright. We could do Scar now. Okay, let's see. I don't think I have. Oh, you're changing something else, or yeah, just. Oh God, I just realized something. Yeon and Eula. Oh God. Don't have her. I don't know what you're talking about them. Ooh. Oh. Alright. Yo, which boss we're gonna do next? Oh boy. I don't like this boss. There we go. Ooh. Alright. The 6 Archons lived in harmony until the Cryo Nation attacked. Shit, I need more heals. Okay, quickly, what do we have many of? What the fuck? No! Ooh. Alright, alright. Ooh. Okie dokie. Alright, bye, Chio. Anywho. I gotta go. Alright, so I do want to showcase a so instead of like actual 100% Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga myself, I searched up a 100% save file. So I got that installed successfully, and I want to show you how crazy the custom character is at when your save file is 100%. So I'm gonna put the game here. Alright, so let me get everything set up and I'll do a short showcase. Alright. Alright. Be right back.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move.
Alright, alright. We're back in Blitzies. Now this is so I just override my own save file. And I tested the save file beforehand, and it's good to go. Even though I really should have just not done that, just save it as a second save file, but yeah. Everything's good. But here's the kicker. Let me show you. I'm gonna do free play. Hold on. I'm gonna do both my. What the fuck? Okay. Actually, not. No. Yeah, this one's gonna need to drop out. Alright. So here on 100 save file, you notice you have now the high jump. Also. Now, yeah. So basically, you have to with 100% save file, you have access to all panels now, and all classes as well. Let me actually turn on the extras. Here, you see C3PO? Look, see? You have access to all panels. And also, yes, even though this has gun, you'll also have access to force like that. it, it's insane. I would have done that 100% myself, but my main gripe is the blue mini kits. You know, I notice kind of slow. Yeah, it's actually when they do actually any panel, the custom character is actually slower at it. Damn. No CPU. Lol. Anywho. E. C3PO and Emperor. Anywho. No wish that they do for if you get 100% save file. They actually let you use your custom character in the cantina. They do the dance. They do the dance. Anywho. Oh, I completely forgot. I didn't know that this was not muted. It was muted. Well, I didn't know it was muted. There you go. There you go. Now you actually have to stand here. I keep forgetting to unmute it. Options. Pod race original. I don't want to do that. Anakin's flight. Options. Let's free play Anakin's flight. Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot. Even I keep. Oh my god, I keep forgetting shit. I keep forgetting everything. Now you know how tired I am. Alright, and I need to reset my model again. There we go. I'll make sure I can see. No, I don't want to. Alright, here we go. What the fuck? Ooh. You get a bunch of studs instead. Alright, let's do this. That was fast. Oh, this is. I remember why. This was so tedious. This was so tedious. That was so tedious. Anywho. Lol. Alright, probably. for the last 30 minutes of stream. I probably want to do some YouTube reactions. So, alright. Alright, let me get everything set up real quick and then we'll get going, alright? Matinee. Alright, I'm back with Blitzies. We're back. There we go. Aw.
I am proud of you. This is a very strong statement that hits many of us in a variety of different ways, and it's one that I say a lot as well. If you've watched the entirety of any of my other videos, you'll know that this is how I outro every single video. And while I find it to be a nice send-off after talking about an important topic, there's deeper meaning behind why I use this specific phrase as an outro and why it's really, really important to me. Looking at my other videos, I'm gonna make a pretty obvious assumption that majority of my audience is queer. In fact, using loose bits of how human psychology works, I'm gonna wager that while maybe not over 50%, at least a lot of you are like me, queer, neurodivergent, and some variety of leftist. While this video is still relevant if you're not like me, part of that plays into why I say it as often as I do. Growing up and being viewed as different from the very beginning left me always having a seeming feeling of isolation. I felt outcast by society. I felt like everyone was acting different and or just simple posts saying, "I'm proud of you." And the response I got directly from those posts shows me that the reason I wanted to do this is true. This is why I say it at the end of every video, because I know a lot of my audience being like me means that it's likely that you've never heard this phrase in a way that matters to you either. And while I'm just some silly red panda girl on a screen,
and for those who need to hear it, I'm proud of you, Blitzies. Even if you didn't do anything today, the fact of the matter is that even if the fact that you woke up today, I am proud of you.
on a YouTube video, and I might not personally know you, I want to be able to have a wide-scale impact on others the way that others have had an impact on me. As surreal as it will always be for my brain, I know that I have people that look up to me in the way that I look up to others, and I know how much being told, even indirectly by someone you look up to, that they're proud of you can make you feel. So if I can recreate even just an ounce of that joy, the emotion, the happiness that I feel when I hear it by saying it, I'm gonna do it in a heartbeat. You deserve to have somebody
You do deserve it. And ooh. Oh no 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 no! We are not having that today.
By many channels. But one thing that I've said quickly, and I think I was probably the first person to point this out, is that bankruptcy is the way that this is going to wind up. As we're seeing things play out, as people are speaking out, it's very clear looking at the roster, looking at the fact that there's literally no talent left. This is a list as of today. All of the red people are confirmed to have left. So
Yep. Everyone left.
they're going to be able to speak up, they're going to be able to talk. But there's some legal distinction here. And I want to be very clear because this is something that is kind of a legal, not a gray area, but it's the difference between the law technically and the practical reality. So in the law, technically, a bankruptcy only discharges financial obligations. Sign an NDA. We're going to talk about that on my next live. But those NDAs, they're not going to have the funds. It costs money. It's not free to go enforce those NDAs. Also, the last thing is, this is something the court can take into effect, is that it's an unfair benefit to the company, particularly given the company's track record. Particularly given that the company was using the NDAs to silence people from speaking about legitimate workplace with that amount of out.
This is why you never sign an NDA without a lawyer present. If anyone, if any company presents you with an NDA, you have to say, okay, before I send an NDA, let me get my attorney involved. And if they say, and if they say no, if the company says no, just up and leave. Up and leave without saying a word. And this is why, I also hate arbitrary clause as well. Because, the quote-unquote continue to using the service, by continuing to using the service, you agree to our terms of service, blah, blah, blah. That's not an actual consent. If you agree to. There should be changes to where, the law should say, hey, don't just let anyone sign your TOS. Make sure that they fully understand the main parts of their TOS.
Standing debt. So I do think there's going to be a point at which practically they'll be able to speak out, they'll be able to talk up, and I will caution all of the talents to consult with their individual lawyers when their individual lawyer that is representing them, not me, but their lawyer representing them, tells them they can speak up, do it, right? Do it. When their lawyer tells them do it. And I think that day will come sooner than later. So everyone, please be patient.
Yeah, and also this is... I'm still wrapping my head around this. It's just... I'm not fucking surprised. And all I want to say is the word corporate, what does that entail? For me, it entails business. It entails shareholders. It entails capitalism. It entails profits. Every time I hear corporate or anything related to it, I just want to run a million miles the opposite way. Because Nijisanji, Hololive, and now vtuber, they all prove that corporate corporate agencies, they don't have the talents or the community in mind. And as well as this thing also rings true. What I'm about to say, this thing also rings true. Fuck. Yeah, this saying also rings true. What I'm about to say, the saying of a company is not your friend. Well, your managers are not your friend, and HR is not your friend. They're only here to protect the company, not to protect you as an employee or talent, of course. And it just sucks. This all sucks. You put your trust in the company or in some sort of management, and they fuck you over by embezzling your money, by committing charity fraud, by committing tax fraud, by committing tax evasion, and as well as audit fraud. Pretty much all kinds of evasions and frauds. 𝙂𝙬𝙧𝙖𝙀 probably has done every single evasion and fraud under the legal belt. That's what I'm not going to be surprised if that all comes out. And I wanted to say, bankruptcy may discharge 𝙂𝙬𝙧𝙖 from financial liability, but it will not get them out of any legal trouble regarding human rights. Regarding human rights in general, it will not exempt them from that. Bankruptcy will not exempt them from that. So if they could go bankrupt, and they will still have some sort of financial liability with any form of human rights violation.
Let's get right into it. Number 8. 𝙂𝙬𝙖𝙀. Ancient Persians had ice cream in the middle of a desert 2,400 years ago. They built massive cone-shaped buildings called 𝙂𝙬𝙖𝙀s that could keep ice frozen even when it was hot enough outside to fry an egg on the ground. The walls were made from a special mix of mud, sand, clay, egg whites, lime, goat hair, and ash. This ancient mixture worked better than modern insulation. It wasn't cone-shaped just to look cool. It also had a purpose. Hot air would rise and escape through holes in the top, while cool air sank into underground storage chambers. These chambers were so huge you could park several buses in them. Massive shade walls surrounded these structures, some as tall as a 4-story building. Shallow pools around them would freeze at night when desert temperatures dropped. The workers would cut this ice into blocks and separate them with straw to stop them from becoming one giant unusable chunk. These ice houses could keep ice frozen even when it was 120 degrees outside. Ancient Persians used this ice to make 𝙂𝙬𝙧𝙖𝙀, a frozen dessert, chinampas. The Aztecs built entire farms on water that put our modern farms to shame. They'd drive wooden stakes into shallow lake bottoms to make a big rectangle. Then they'd weave reeds between these stakes, like building a giant underwater basket.
Okay, I wanted to move on to the next video. Sorry.
Hilarious watching all of the older generation
the past 2 weeks. But if you're unfamiliar, often employed by Gen Z folk, with it often being used when they ask you how your day's going, or if they can get anything started for you, when you get a phone call waiting until the person who called you says something first, and other just small talk interactions.
Hi, welcome in. How is everyone tonight? Do you need a minute?
That we've spoken about quite a few times on this channel before, where I think on the purely social aspect of just giving pleasantries to people or just responding to a hello should be something that we're more comfortable with doing. I feel that should be a good baseline, but we should take a little bit of accountability in the fact that yeah, social.
Because we don't respond first, it's mainly because of scammers trying to record your voice on the phone for AI. Hi. Hi, Ava. Or Ava Doers 1. Hi. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. My name is Brandon Blitz. I am a variety streamer. I mainly do, right now, I mainly do modern games, and retro games. I do plan on eventually incorporating. Yeah, I am having a wonderful day. I was supposed to be streaming a lot earlier today, but I had to cover someone else's shift, so I ended up starting stream later. Anyways, um, I mainly do digital art, modern games, and retro games. I do plan on incorporating programming and 3D modeling hopefully soon. I'm just trying to get the bare minimum basics down first before I start streaming it. And main reason why is that I am striving to become the most self-sufficient VTuber in history or imaginable. I don't know, either whichever comes first. But basically, um two main reasons. One, the absolute downfall and batshittery that is vtuber as of yesterday, at least yesterday. And the second reason is when Bao the Whale, when she had to cancel her model debut stream because the person she commissioned said they're not going to be able to fulfill her request because they have other more immediate obligations they have to meet, which is understandable, but also still sad. She was planning on she had merch and everything ready, and she had to cancel stream because the debut because of that. So that's the two main reasons why I'm striving to become a self-sufficient VTuber. The digital art mainly to prepare myself to do my own thumbnails and stuff like that. The 3D modeling aspect part of it, so I can work on my own models and eventually just upgrade this one. Just use my this one as a base to upgrade it. I won't do a full like. Yeah, thank you. Also, I probably okay, you're banned. You are so fucking banned. You are fucking banned. Report. Advertising schemes. And I am removing that from my stream because fuck you. Fucking hell, Twitch. I get it that that stuff is more advanced, but come on, can you at the very least make it simpler? Okay. Alright. Oh my god. I'm putting that on my banned words list. I'm putting it on my banned words list. Cause that is not fucking cool. I am sorry, everyone. Alright. I'm sorry, everyone. That wasn't cool. And I probably want to... Can I please remove that from my... Hold on. I have an idea. There we go. Now that's removed. Sorry. That's removed. Anywho. Yeah. Also, stream elements. When I encounter bots like this, can I have the ability to remove it from displaying on my stream? Or do I have to like I don't fucking know anymore. Anywho.
Skills or at least socializing holistically in our generation looks a little bit different from other generations. And a lot of you might not like to hear this, but like a good portion of that can be attributed to the way in which the majority of us were socialized or not socialized growing up. And we're going to get into a little bit more of that later. And this isn't necessarily a slight to us saying that we're like some kind of social pariah, but I do think inherently there is a certain level of avoidance in these sets of specific social interactions. And I'm not saying generally, because we're going to get into the Gen Z side of the argument. I think a lot of the criticism, I think a lot of the things that we've been saying are like problems are for sure problems, but I think just for saying hello or like things that kind of require you to respond socially does raise some eyebrows. And this is coming from someone that gets social anxiety bad, okay? And this sort of social behavior is something that we've seen a couple of times in like major online conversations because we do tend to navigate.
Also because no this camera issue that you just saw on my shown stream. Also the fact that in today's day and age, stranger danger took a new fucking meaning. Cause you could say hello to a stranger, and that stranger may be having such a bad day that that hello might make them snap and straight up game end you. That's not exaggeration. That's fucking reality for my generation. It's fucking reality for our generation. It's fucking sad. It's sad and it's horrible. And unfortunately, we can try to do something about it, but unfortunately, we can't do much about it.
Spaces, at least online, from a place of distance and almost detachment. Like, it goes back to that whole conversation that was on social media a couple months back, where people were talking about whether or not you were owed a hello from a cashier. You remember that conversation? There was this large sentiment of like not being entitled to someone's time or conversation, which in some cases is very true, but also in that same breath, we do have to acknowledge that that is in contrast and in conflict with a lot of our pleas for connection and community in our day-to-day lives. And I think that piece is what's contributing to the disconnect in this conversation, because I do think that it's okay to be socially anxious. Like, I'm a baddie with social anxiety. Like, what's that Wendy clip? Shout out to y'all with social anxiety. I kind of feel bad for y'all. Like,
shout out to everybody with social anxiety. I kind of feel sorry for you. Hell yeah.
Bruh.
It's completely fine to be socially anxious, and it's understandable to be socially avoidant, but you can't be both of those things and not working on either, and also expect connection and community from others. Because again, that kind of goes against that whole principle of like not owing anyone anything. And unfortunately, there are actually numbers to support the fact that like our lack of socialization is kind of having an impact on the world around us.
All right.
The New York Post talking about the Gen Z gaze or the Gen Z stare. They say that many rejected the notion that just because a job isn't great doesn't mean you shouldn't be greeting customers. With someone from one of the older generations saying, I remember the first time a friend told me she didn't think customers were owed friendliness. Just a mind-boggling mindset, one person shared. It's just so insidious, and I really don't think people realize they're infected with it. Work is so much better for everyone when you're making an effort. So we aren't just seeing this on a customer service level. And I have some thoughts on the customer service aspect of this conversation, which we're going to get into when we talk about Gen Z's approach to the Gen Z stare debate or whatever. But this isn't just a thing exclusive to customer service, because there's also a study about Gen Z in the office talking about things like small talk and how we've kind of killed small talk in the office. According to the study, the art of small talk is dying out because younger workers feel more comfortable communicating online, according to research. A whole of 2,000 employees found that 74% struggle to make light conversations with coworkers in the kitchen and elevator. With Gen Z leading with 40% of its employees feeling this way, millennials coming in second with 33%, and 24% of Gen X. So while if you've seen any of my Gen Z videos before, you know that I'm not a fan of the whole like Gen Z is ruining everything discourse, especially when it comes to the workplace, because I think a lot of it is kind of dramatized and sensationalized and ultimately does end up harming Gen Z more than it does like educating the populace. But I think an explanation for this that a lot of people for some reason just like don't really acknowledge as being valid is that for at least the workplace, when it comes to things like being socially awkward or like lacking the social skills, is the whole concept of remote and hybrid work kind of being the norm for a lot of Gen Z when they enter the workplace. A lot of people underplay a lot of things about the pandemic, but one thing especially that they underplay is the impact that that had socially and developmentally for a whole generation of people that were just coming of age, whether that be in the workforce, whether that be as new adults, high schoolers, and for some of us even middle schoolers. Like, we really spent our formative years in Zoom calls where oftentimes participation and responses were optional. So when you go through that during your developmental stages and that becomes more normal, of course, like when you grow up or go into different settings, that's going to impact how you show up in the world. So you can't necessarily put all the blame for people, at least on the workspace, for a work culture that they did not grow up in or have experience with. Now, what I will say, because I see a lot of my older generation viewers getting a little frustrated with me being like, oh, this isn't unique to y'all, everyone's had to go through their own thing. I will say, I do think that we as Gen Z need to put a little bit more effort in to correct that behavior, because I think a lot of times in these conversations, we address and we understand where it's coming from. You know, like most things, an explanation is not an explaining the Gen Z stare, just a lack of general customer service and not responding to your every question. Are a lot of mandatory cutscenes that you got to get through, a lot of small talk, a lot of seemingly meaningless conversations you have to have, and those are important. They don't always feel like they are, and they don't always feel great to have, but they are important to maintaining a And kind of on that point, and expanding on something that I said a little bit earlier in this video when it comes to like owing people things and the whole notion of like community and like loneliness and all that, I do think that it's really contradictory for people to feel like they owe people nothing. Like, I really don't like that whole notion, that whole conversation talking point that like, we don't owe people this, we don't owe people that, we owe people nothing. Like, I think that it bothers me because of the contradiction. Like, to feel like we owe each other nothing, but to also expect so much of others when it comes to things like community, accountability, and grace. Like, we see this all the time with the way the internet culture has evolved to become more so punitive of people. Like, if none of us truly owe anyone anything, then we also can't expect people to owe us any grace when we do mess up or we are having a hard time. Nor can we expect any accountability from people we do or don't know. Because with the logic of us not owing each other anything, they don't owe us that either. And that extreme concept of detachment and not owing each other anything is just super individualistic and is the antithesis of community. Like, you really can't have it both ways. And I'm not saying that it's okay to like not have accountability and not give people grace and all that when it comes to like not owing people things. I'm just saying that, yeah, again, you can't have it both ways. And in my opinion, we should at least owe each other some level of decency, some level of kindness, because those are both so necessary for the community that we say that we yearn for so much.
I bet you expect other people to respect the fact that you don't owe them any.
Generational quirks that have been going on for other generations. Like, we have to talk about like, why do we do that? Like, why is that a thing? Like I said before, the millennial pause, the Gen Z shade, the Gen X entitlement, and so on and so on. Like, I feel like online we itch, we urge, we want to catapult ourselves into having these hallmark generational identifiers for each other that seem to explain or like point out behavior, and I'm just like, why? And like, not to pull out like the woe is us card, but like for Gen Z, it just feels like Gen Z's quirks are always so harmful, and it also are just generally used against us in real life. Like, I feel like for all the other generational quirks, like it's very haha hee hee, or like something that's like memed on, but like for Gen Z's quirks, it's like actually taken seriously and used against us in like physical ways. Like, millennials get called cringe and told that they don't know how to start talking when they start a video on time. Gen X gets called angry, okay? But Gen Z gets called lazy and socially inept. Hello? Like, I get calling stuff out for the funnies, for and gigs of it all, but like, the difference here is like the whole conversation about punching up versus punching down. Like, you know, like the older you are, the more social capital and like general capital you have.
And the fact that literally 3 whole ass generations calling Gen Z lazy and socially inept. Yes, we may be socially inept, but we are not fucking lazy. We're working hard every fucking day. And on the stream multiple times I'm talking about how work is just not exhausting me, but kind of just no, the saying that retail sucks to swallow you, that's fucking real as fuck.
In the world, so it's not like we're calling Gen X angry. Oops. Oh well, y'all got your whole lives together, but like, and that doesn't really. They are hard to work with, whether or not the actual employees that they are employing or firing are hard to work with themselves, or whether or not they're just Gen Z and they think like, oh, Gen Z is hard to work with, so not wanting to do the whole thing. We do have to acknowledge there is something to be said about the rising resentment in Gen Z.
Yeah.
Like, no, the majority of us can't just buckle down with one job and expect all of our ends to meet anymore. Due to our country's socioeconomic situation right now, word to Jaden Smith, we aren't given the life that we were promised as kids, as many generations aren't before. But you know, as time goes on, things just tend to get worse. And God forbid we're rightfully disillusioned with adulthood, okay? Because it feels like we won't be able to afford anything ever. Not to even talk about the terrible job market that
we can't afford anything as adults. So what do you think Gen Alpha and Gen Beta is going to face with? Not being able to afford anything as children? Oh my god. Okay, maybe not so much for Gen Alpha, but Gen Beta? That may be an actual reality. I hope to God it's not. It won't come to that. Like you said, with each generation, it seems to get fucking worse and worse. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Anywho, that being said, here. That being said, I'm just exhausted today. Not only from work, but also like Didn't get much sleep. Even though I was supposed to be working later. Yeah, it's just so okay. Anyway. Anyways, that means I'm not going to be ending off today's stream here. I hope you all have a good rest of the day, evening, night, and time zone. Hope you are have something to eat and are hydrated with blitzies. Anywho, I'm gonna just try to relax the rest of the evening and hopefully gain some energy back. Just a heads up, I'm not gonna be able to stream Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cause not gonna be able to use my PC. Those days doing house renovations and all that. Anyways, that being said, make sure to have something to eat. Make sure to hydrate and make sure to just try to relax and it's okay to live in the moment. It's okay to process your feelings right now. And I am proud of you for even waking up today. I'm proud of you for pushing forward when nobody else believed in you. I am proud of you for everything you've done up until this point and what you're going to do in the future. That being said, I'm going to be ending off today's stream and hope you all have a good rest of the day, evening, night, and time.